Hey, yeah, I got what you need right here. Market stats, April 2024. Let's go.
Ooh, that's hot. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this latest edition of my monthly market reports for the month of April 2024. Let's begin first by considering the data for the entirety of the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, starting first with all home types. So for all home types, we see that on average, the average price increased roughly 0.3% from April 2023 to April 2024, sitting now at an average price of roughly $1.156 million. We also see that the new listings available on the market for April 2024 are 47% higher as compared to April 2023. Now, what does this mean? Well, it means that potential homebuyers, they have many more options to consider and explore when searching for their dream home. And they're doing this with a relatively minimal increase in price, right? A less than 1% increase at about 0.3%. Now let's get into a little bit more specific data. So for Richmond Hill, a detached home is currently averaging roughly $2 million, which is actually a 10% increase from April of 2023. For semi-detached, we are looking at an average of about 1.2 million, actually down 7% from April 2023. And for townhomes, we are looking at an average of about 1.2, remaining relatively unchanged from April 2023. Now, for Vaughan, we are looking at an average price for a detached home sitting at around $1.8 million, remaining relatively unchanged from a year ago. And for semis, we are looking at an average price of about $1.1 million, actually down 8% from April 2023. Now, surprisingly, townhomes in Vaughan are actually more than semis are. So townhomes are averaging at around $1.2 million, going down about 3% from last year. And you're going to see something similar now with Markham. So Markham, a detached homes, going for roughly $1.83 million, down about 2% from April of 2023, while semi-detached is about $1.23 million, down about 4% from 2023, with townhomes being $1.3 million, remaining relatively the same. Now, I think it's something to note that in Vaughan and in Markham, a semi-detached home is actually now more affordable than a townhome, which I think it is interesting. I'm not sure exactly why that is happening, but I think it is something to note. So if you're looking for a semi-detached property, now might be a good time to search in either Vaughan or Markham. You can see that the prices are going down and it's actually more affordable than a town. Now, let's get on to something that I personally find to be a little bit more interesting, and that's interest rates. So a lot of people, they've been having a lot of questions about interest rates recently. A lot of people are trying to, plan ahead for what it is that they're going to be doing with their real estate portfolio, if they're going to expand it, if they're going to shrink it, if they're going to be liquidating their holdings, so on and so forth. And I have a lot of people come and ask me about interest rates, and I'm going to be doing a more in-depth video on that later this week, which I highly recommend you stay tuned for. But let's just do a quick review right now. So currently, the overnight rate, which is the benchmark rate set by the Bank of Canada, is sitting at 5% as compared to April of 2023, where it was 4.5%. So we've seen a 0.5% increase from April of 2023 to the current day. Now, what does this mean, right? Well, I like to look as much data as possible. And so I like to show people this chart here. And you can see from 1990 all the way to 2024, the average rate for interest rates for the overnight rate is at actually 5.78%. So what does this mean? Well, it means, technically speaking, we are still actually below the historical average for interest rates, right? So a lot of people, they're a little bit hesitant about entering the market. They're worried about, maybe I can get a better rate. And it's possible you could get a better rate. We're being continually promised a 0.25% decrease in rates. However, Mr. Tiff Macklem, the governor of the Bank of Canada, continually has promised us rate cuts, yet we have not gotten them. So months and months on end of being promised rate cuts, and they haven't come. And we are still below the historical average of 5.78% for the overnight rate. In my opinion, I think it's reasonable to assume that we will at the very least touch that average rate. Maybe we will supersede that rate, who knows? But like I said, I'm no fortune teller, but personally, I think it's reasonable to assume that we are gonna get good rates right now. I think these are good rates. I think people are crossing their fingers, maybe wishing on a genie for something that may not happen, unfortunately. And Mr. Macklem himself even acknowledged that it's unlikely that we will be seeing rates similar to that previous from COVID or even during COVID, right? So I don't think we're going to be seeing 3%. I don't think we're going to be seeing 2%. I don't think we're going to be seeing those numbers anytime soon. Personally, I think we're going up. Even if we do come down for a brief period, I think rates are going to continue to go up. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. If you guys have any questions regarding real estate, thinking of buying, selling, or investing, don't hesitate to contact me. I always love answering any questions you may have. As always, I'm Nicholas Tsatsides, your trusted local real estate expert.